So today we're going to take a look at what's going to happen if the Gokturk Empire reunites in the modern day. Now this video is going to be very unrealistic. All the events that are going to happen are purely fictional. But yeah, let's see what happens if they reunite in the modern day. Let's see who they declare war on, how they expand and all those other stuff. But before we get into this video, I want to first of all mention that major alliances like NATO, CSTO, the EU or the UN, they do not exist in my videos. If they would exist, they would not let these countries or empires to expand. Secondly, join the Discord server via the link in the description, subscribe to the second channel. But yeah, now let's get right into the video. And as we can see here, the Gokturk Empire is pretty huge. It's actually a very old empire, so I don't think that most of you even know what it was, but it was massive. Also, these borders might not be 100% accurate. I went through multiple maps and this is the closest I got, so yeah. And right after being reunited, the Gokturk Empire is going to be very unstable because of all of the different people living within this country. But there's one better part here, and that is it's a Turkic empire, and a lot of the people who live inside this empire actually identify as Turks, so it wouldn't be that unstable. It is going to be unified because most of the people living here are Turks. But at the same time, the Gokturk Empire took away a lot of land from China and Russia. Also, now there is this very weird exclave of Russia down here. And yeah, that is the Gokturk Empire for you guys. But still, because it's their video, we're gonna have to ignore all of the bad stuff, and we would actually want them to expand. And so we're going to assume that they have a great leader. This leader knows how to stabilize the nation, and after a few years we can see that the nation is very much stabilized, or we're just assuming that, I don't know. But whatever it is, they're just stable now, and so they can now start expanding. The first thing that they do here is that they send an ultimatum to the remaining parts of Turkmenistan, demanding their annexation. Turkmenistan had no choice but to accept the ultimatum, and actually, you know what? They were kind of happy to join because it's a Turkic country. This is a Turkic empire. So yeah, that happened. Another interesting event is going to happen here, where we can see that Azerbaijan joins the Turkic Empire or the Gokturk Empire. Bold move, but yeah, great for these guys. And because of these sudden expansions, the neighboring countries of the Gokturk Empire are really worried right now because the Gokturks are growing in strength. Even though the Gokturks got a lot of land from China, their highly populated regions are down here and some of them are up here. So the Chinese are still very strong. Same is the case with the Russians, who did lose a significant amount of land over here in Europe, which was very valuable, but still, they're strong. And as I said, the neighboring countries of the Gokturk Empire are going to be militarizing their nations. Weird enough, Pakistan also has a border, so they're militarizing. But yeah, after a few years of military reforms and recruiting troops from all over the country, we can see that the Gokturk Empire is ready for a full-scale war. We can see that they declare war on Iran in order to have an access to the Arabian Sea and then to get their hands on the massive Iranian oil fields. So let's see. We can see that the Gokturks storm into Iran, taking control of these entire regions. This is happening because the Iranians were heavily outnumbered. We can see that they also push in from the west, pushing towards the capital city of Tehran. And unfortunately for the Iranians, they lost their capital city. And from here, we can see that the Iranians are losing ground. The morale amongst the soldiers has been lost. And after losing pretty much everything, the remaining parts of Iran just go ahead and surrender. This was a decisive victory for the Gokturk Empire, as they were able to defeat a very major country down here. And so later on, we can see that all of Iran got completely annexed. Now the Gokturks have an access to the Arabian Sea, thus giving them more trade options. They also have their hands on the massive Iranian oil fields, which is great for them. The Gokturks also want good relations with China and Russia right now, because they're afraid that the Chinese and the Russians might form a coalition against these guys, and in that case, they would have to fight a two-front war. So that is why they're trying their best to have good relations with these guys, which for now is working out. In the west, another interesting event happens. Now you guys could argue with me on what I'm doing right here, but I'm gonna be doing this because it's very cool and it might just be possible. But still, as I mentioned, my videos are unrealistic, so yeah, might not happen or might happen. But we can see that Turkey joins the Gokturk Empire without any ultimatum or anything. And as I said, you guys could argue, but this right here makes it look very cool. All the Turkic countries are now united. What about Crimea though? Let's leave it for now. But anyways, now the Georgians and Armenians are completely surrounded, especially the Armenians. And we can see that the Turks sent two ultimatums, both to Armenia and Georgia. These guys had to accept because a war with the Gokturk Empire would result in a lot of casualties, destroyed infrastructure, and a shattered economy. So yeah, that happened. But yeah, the Gokturks are not going to stop here. They want to conquer more lands, and they want to dominate over here in the Middle East too. And so because they want to do that, we can see that they declare war on Syria and Iraq. And yeah, we can see that the Gokturks push into Iraq, and they push up the Euphrates River, eventually capturing the capital city of Baghdad. The remaining parts of Iraq just go ahead and surrender. Syria surrenders without a fight because they knew what was going to happen. They knew what the result of the war was going to be. Both countries got completely annexed, and they're still not going to be stopping here as they send out ultimatums to all of these countries. The only country that does not accept the ultimatum is Israel. Kuwait, Jordan, Palestine, and Lebanon accepted the ultimatums, and all that is left is Israel. So now we can see that the Turks are at war with Israel, and I don't know what these guys were thinking when they did not accept the ultimatum, but yeah, that happened. And that is the Middle East for you guys. The Turks are not going to be expanding further south. They're done with that. They now have what they wanted, though they are going to be building a formidable navy, but their expansions in the south are going to end here. Instead, what they're going to be doing is they're going to try to expand in the west, maybe get some of the lands that they used to have. And so they're going to be conducting some operations from Turkey, and they're going to be using the Turkish military, I guess the Turkish provincial military, because Turkey is now a province. But yeah, a huge army is now being recruited, and it is being sent to the western parts. Millions of soldiers now enter Turkey, and from there they get to the European parts, and it is pretty obvious what's going to happen next. The Turks now declare war on Greece, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, as well as Albania. We can see that this huge Turkic army now pushes into both these countries. Bulgaria was lost within a month. These troops enter North Macedonia, immediately taking out the entire country. Greece for now is holding off, but they're overwhelmed by the Turkic numbers. Albania goes ahead and surrenders, and the Turks unexpectedly push in from Albania, and so eventually Greece also lost their capital city. The remaining parts of Greece go ahead and surrender, and this was the Turkish entrance into Europe. They won some decisive victories over all of these countries, mainly because of the huge army that they had. And right now everybody is really scared because this right here is very strong now. It's pretty much unstoppable at this point. These guys are rolling through all of these countries. No one is able to stop them. And just so you know, this is what they started with. These are all the lands that they occupied later on. But as I said, it's still not enough. Another huge army was raised, and even more troops entered Eastern Europe. But before attacking some of these countries, the Turks sent out ultimatums. The ultimatums were sent to all of these Eastern European countries. But out of all the countries, only Kosovo, Montenegro, as well as Bosnia accepted the ultimatums, whereas countries like Serbia, Croatia, Romania, as well as Hungary did not accept the ultimatums. And so when they did not accept the ultimatums, this happened. And then after seeing what happened to all of these Eastern European countries, which previously got invaded and whose infrastructures were destroyed, these guys go ahead and just surrender. That was quick, but yeah, that's the fact. Sorry to any Eastern Europeans, real sorry. They have two final countries that they want to take out. These two countries are Moldova and Ukraine. But Ukraine knew about this, and they knew that the Turks did not want all of Ukraine. They only wanted some parts, and well, Moldova is just screwed. They accept an ultimatum from the Turks. But Ukraine, on the other hand, was able to get away with it because they themselves offered the Turks these lands, which they knew the Turks wanted. Yeah, these were all the lands. And this is the Gokturk Empire at its peak. If you want to see a division of the empire, I will show you that too. After the death of the king, yeah, this is the division of the empire for you guys. But yeah, this is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me what you guys want to see in the future. And thank you for watching.